Now, in case you're wondering, this is not how this floor will be laid out for my panels. This is just going to give me a nice working platform. We'll offset this 4 feet, and then, stagger brick lay, 8 foot, 4 foot, 8 foot, 4 foot. And then we'll take this strip from over here, flip it to that side, and run it that way. We've got tongue and groove through the whole distance that we've got across here. And we're getting 3/4 inch bearing nicely. Might double this one up. I like that. Is it necessary? It is not, but I do like it. So we might do that. Whew, it's warm. Right. There is a better than fair chance before this house is finished that we will be swapping and starting a project on another house. If I can get that house has a probably 70, maybe 80 foot trailer on it that squatters are occasionally in that house and using drugs and leaving needles behind and just generally trashing the place. Last time I was in there, there was a room that had probably half the room was a couple of inches deep in animal waste. It's all going to be completely torn down and thrown away. But if I don't get rid of the building, once I get it, they're not going to stop. So if the building's not there, or like at the end of this street and over another block, about 2 weeks ago, squatters burned a house down that was vacant. They might burn it down. Now, in either one of those cases, it's not a great loss. I think both of them would be full tear downs as opposed to this was a remodel. The neighbors here have kept a pretty close eye on the place at times, and I didn't have to do that here. But you can't let a bad situation continue once you take responsibility for it. Otherwise, it goes from bad to worse, and it just doesn't stop getting worse. The degradation will continue until you put a stop to it. So I would really like to continue working on this house until it's completely finished, but I think we're probably going to jump out of this property and into a different property so that we can get the squatters off the property. So just heads up for those who have been watching this since I started this project, there's a good chance that's going to be happening within the next 2 months. So for you guys, it might happen pretty quickly. Meanwhile, on this property, this window is going to be replaced with a big window. This window is going to get replaced with a big window. I'm putting back smaller windows than what these are height-wise, but they'll be wider. That window on the east side is going to get one of these windows. This window here on the north side will get one of these windows. And this north side will get one of these windows. There's really nothing to see out these windows other than the neighbor's yard. So no loss there. Good sized window still going to go back in over the kitchen. Good sized one here. Good sized one there. That's going to be the biggest window, the one in the living room. Looking around down here, there's very few remodeled houses. Most of these are from the 60s and 70s. 1 or 2 from the 80s. So there's not really a style to match them to. It's pretty much whatever you feel like putting in your house. The neighbor's got very similar windows to these, except for he's got black trim. And the neighbors on the other side just replaced their windows and they've got white vinyl. So this should match up fairly nicely with what's right here next to the house. Feels good standing here. These are probably not going to be moving around very much in the process. I'm not going to screw these down yet. It looks like my wall is slightly out of square right here at the corner. And when I say slightly, I mean from one end to the other, 1/2 inch out of square. So we'll just angle that back and then we'll be back where we're supposed to be. I've got ventilation to move, mud dauber nests to remove. I'm back to height, looking at the wall and looking what I've got here, and it's pretty solid. We'll just talk about that another time. All right, what can I do today? Well, I'm out of projects that I can do for right here. So we are going to head outside and we are going to move to something we've not done at all before. we're going to move out to the shed and we're going to get that ready for wiring. Because I really am going to need somewhere to assemble some things that are going to be coming up, and in here is not going to be the best place to be doing that. So I'm going to set the shed up with hopefully full electricity for a refrigerator and an air conditioner, so I can bring things down here. That way when we're ready to run the pump for the well, I'll have somewhere where I'll be able to have drinks while I'm mixing concrete. And we're going to need the water from the well or another source. I could bring totes down here. I've got a couple of them sitting around. But I'd rather find out if the well works before I do much else with the concrete. Because if the well does not work and the well is not viable, apparently somewhere in the front yard there is a water line from the municipal water that is available that has been spurred off of the main meter here in the front, or main access. And I have the whole street's main access right in the front yard. So I don't want to be digging willy-nilly in the front yard because I don't know what's out there, and when Dig Right came out, they didn't mark anything. So I don't know where anything is up there. Okay, I'm gonna break this all down. We're gonna head out to the shed and we're gonna start on the electric out there. First thing before we put anything of value out here, we're gonna get the doorknob changed out. All right, I have a use for this. I'm gonna go put this on the front door just to keep it closed. I'll be back. Hey, it actually locks now. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to remove this panel here altogether. This shelf is not really useful. It's not really attached to anything. So these are first to go. Okay. What is this? High school ID. All right. I don't really want to destroy this whole wall, but it looks to me like we've got a tape seam here that was badly taped. So let's just take him down. All right. Let's see what we got. Insulation and 16 on center. I like it. All right. I like it, but you gotta go. Might be a good enough shape to put back. We'll see. So here's our line coming in from outside, running from the junction that used to go to the house, and then this will run up. Yeah, pretty good cable. I'd say these fixtures are from the 90s, maybe the 80s, but late 80s if 80s. They got the good printed barcodes on them. All right, so outlets wise, we got 1, 2, 3 outlets. Okay, that's fair. And then we've got 1, 2 lights. I can run a new home run pretty easily. Right here. And then that's a good looking wire. Nice. All right, I don't have nearly the work out here I was afraid I would, which is really nice to find. So we're gonna go outside, we're gonna remove this box, and we're gonna get our cabling that we're gonna bring in from outside here in, and I think we're gonna put our junction box, not our junction, we're going to put our panel, subpanel here. And that's a good spot for it. Then it'll be right in the middle of the drywall. I can put a whole sheet back up, skin everything back in the way it was. I was afraid I was gonna have to tear all this out and all the ceiling out too to be able to get to this, but no, cool. All right, let's go outside and do that. Ten gauge wire. Copper too. No, just full. Just thicker insulation. Now that's not a bad spot for a light. So we are going to leave that right where it is and put our panel back. Okay, there is no power in these wires. Nothing here is even connected to anything. But I'm going to go ahead and put a cap back on each one so that when I come back out here, they're all ready to go. This would be a good spot for a light, I think. Maybe for a Wi-Fi camera, etc. All right. Now there's a wire here that is attached to the spring holding around this corner, and this was the tension wire that used to run to the back end of the utilities where the washer and the water heater and everything have been. But now since we're going to be burying this, we're not going to need that at all. So shortly I will remove that wire, possibly use it for something else. All right. Termites. Termites have been here. All right, well. Good to know. All right, we're not going to use that stud. That stud's going to need to be replaced. Cool. It's a tight one. This was my grandfather's. It's one of the few tools I have left of his. This has been working for at least 70 years. That's not even attached. All right, this has been nailed in, so I'm not going to be able to reuse this box. All right, moving on to the next plan.